If your cholesterol has been flagged high for the first time ever, or maybe higher than it ever has been before, and you're anything like me and the women that I work with, you immediately started wondering if there is anything you can do to lower that number naturally. Most of the women I talk to are not interested in going on a statin or other cholesterol-lowering medication if they can possibly help it. But unfortunately, they aren't really being given much information about what they can do to lower their cholesterol naturally. And this is really unfortunate because there are many things we can do to influence the multiple systems in our bodies that regulate our cholesterol numbers. Today's video is an overview of the 4 components of the complete approach to lowering your cholesterol naturally. My name is Stephanie Dunn. I'm a registered dietitian and the founder of Feed Your Intention. I guide women to nourish their wellness and reclaim their wholeness. And today I want to talk to you about the complete picture about how to lower your cholesterol naturally. So first, I want to talk about why a complete approach matters, particularly for women who are experiencing the hormonal changes of perimenopause, which can occur for up to 10 years before your last menstrual period, and in postmenopause, when there are still approximately 2 more years of hormonal changes that are occurring even after your final period occurs. Your cholesterol levels are influenced by multiple body systems, and the numbers that you see on the lab report are a reflection of how all of those systems are doing, both on their own independently and in relation to each other. If we only address one of those systems and don't actually address the system of your body at all, then we aren't able to move the numbers in a meaningful way. Or if we choose to just go on a medication, I'm not saying that's the wrong approach or that you should ignore medical advice, but sometimes going on a medication as the answer can have unintended consequences in the body that potentially have their own negative effect that we then have to counter in some other way. Again, I'm not saying you shouldn't or can't or won't go on a cholesterol-lowering medication. I just want you to have the full picture, because by having the full picture, you will have agency to make the informed decision that is best for you, whatever you ultimately decide that choice is, because you are the only one who can know what is best for you ultimately. So let's talk about each of the 4 pieces. Now, the first one is food. And I know that this is not a surprise to you because very often when people start talking about high cholesterol, they immediately start talking about food. But typically the conversation stops at 2 things. The first one is saturated fat, and the second one is eggs because of their cholesterol content. Now, food is the most powerful lever that we have when it comes to influencing our cholesterol levels within our body, but it goes well beyond eggs and certainly beyond fat as a category. There are multiple mechanisms, including the fiber that we take in and the way it binds with bile acids so that they can be carried out of the body. Blood sugar regulation matters, as does our triglyceride levels. That means our overall dietary pattern and the response our body has to the glucose that we are consuming all matter in how our bodies respond to creating and getting rid of cholesterol. Now, in previous weeks, I have covered these in a bit more detail, so be sure that you check out those videos if you want a little bit more information. But the key point of this is that it's not about eating less. It's not about eating less eggs. It's not about eating less saturated fat necessarily. It's about eating strategically in a way that science supports and your body responds to in order to help reach that healthy cholesterol number that we're all looking for. The second piece of this puzzle is lifestyle, and again, it has 3 parts. The first one is exercise. Regular exercise raises our HDL, which we think of as the protective or good form of cholesterol, and it certainly has a very important role in the body. But exercise also helps to clear triglycerides from the blood, which I cover in the blood sugar video about why high triglycerides matter for our cholesterol levels. And exercise improves insulin sensitivity in addition to just clearing excess glucose all on its own, even without an insulin response. All three of these impact cholesterol directly and differently. The second part of lifestyle is sleep. Poor sleep or not enough sleep raises cortisol. Excess cortisol raises blood sugar, and that shifts the cholesterol profile in unhealthy ways. Stress also influences the same cortisol pathway. Chronic stress means chronic disruption in the body. Now, in a previous video, I talked about how elevated blood sugar causes our cholesterol to shift in an unhealthy way. So if you want more about this particular mechanism, you can check out that video. The third piece of this puzzle and how we can naturally lower our cholesterol numbers is in gut health. Now, I covered this in detail in last week's video, so be sure you check that out if you want like literally all of the details. But the summary is that elimination is how excess cholesterol leaves the body, literally through our pooping. Fiber, hydration, microbiome balance, and daily complete bowel movements are all part of this piece of the puzzle that can help lower our cholesterol naturally. And what I want to really point out here is that you can be eating well and still undermine your cholesterol numbers if your elimination isn't working. We literally must be pooping every single day to be sure that the elimination process, the elimination of the excess cholesterol completes. Now, the fourth piece of this puzzle is supplements. There are certain evidence-based supplements that can provide meaningful support. Now, as is the case in all situations, supplements are not meant to be a replacement for food and lifestyle choices. They are a complement when the other things that we're doing need a little more help, or maybe our genetics require that we need supplements in a different way than somebody without the same genetics that we have. So there are supplements like some antioxidants, certain probiotics, omega-3 fatty acids, plant sterols, just to name a couple, that research has shown can help shift the cholesterol profile for some individuals. Now, this is really important, the some individuals part, because the quality of the supplement, but also the appropriateness of the supplement varies by individual. This is by no means a one-size-fits-all solution. Now, going into all of those details is beyond the scope of this video, but I wanted you to know that if the first three pieces of this puzzle, of this approach to naturally lowering your cholesterol doesn't work, that you might have other options via supplements before you have to go on a prescription medication. Again, whether you do or not go on a medication is between you and your doctor. Ultimately, I just want you to know what options you have available to you. Now, all of this becomes particularly important for us women as we head into midlife. The hormonal changes that we are experiencing in perimenopause and postmenopause put pressure on all four of the systems that I have mentioned simultaneously. So our insulin sensitivity shifts, our gut motility slows, our gut microbiome changes. Sleep becomes harder to attain in quality and quantity, and as well, our stress resilience goes down, unfortunately. This is why a complete approach to your cholesterol numbers matters more in midlife than at any other time. And also, this is why it is possible that the generic advice that you have received or heard as it relates to how to lower cholesterol may not work, because it really might include younger people in whether or not those approaches work, or even a male population, which doesn't work the same for us as women and the bodies that we live within. So those recommendations may be falling short of achieving the goal that you want with your cholesterol, even if you've been following them. Now, this video gives you the overall landscape about what the approaches are, the what and the why. The complete roadmap with all the details, the specific protocols, how to interpret your labs, how to prioritize the various interventions, because let's be honest, none of us have time or the energy for that matter to do all of these interventions at the same time, as well creating a 90-day plan so that you can really plan out how you want to approach lowering your cholesterol naturally. That is all in the course that I am building. It is called Lower Your Cholesterol Naturally, a complete guide for women in perimenopause and postmenopause. The waitlist is open, and if you join it, you will be the first to know when the course is available, and you'll also get to sign up early with a discount whenever the course is released. So sign up for the waitlist if you want. If not, I will continue to share helpful information about how you can truly nourish your body in this phase of life that you are in. Okay, that is all for this week. So until next time, I wish you wellness and wholeness.